Tell me how you get to sleep at night, sleep at night. Tell me how you get to sleep.
I was thinking about this song and where it came from, and I remembered that there was a fast rock song where the chorus was, "So tell me how you get to sleep at night, sleep at night." But the chords were all different, and I always thought, wow, that's a cool idea. So I think it came time to go through ideas, and I plucked that one. But then when I started playing around with it, I remember sitting in my studio for hours. Well, I don't know, like 2 hours. That's enough to be hours. And playing around with the chords to get them just right and the melody just right. And finally settling on what it is.
Before we recorded this album, I had a mix CD. And yes, I still make mix CDs, but I had a mix CD of a bunch of ideas of Steve's and my own, and I would listen to it in my car. And I listened to them to see which ones I would be inclined to listen to over and over again, and which ones I would just skip. I highly recommend this method to any songwriters out there because you might tend to get a little biased on certain songs, maybe because you spend a lot of time working on the lyrics or just the song in general. But in the end, it just ends up not being something you want to listen to when you take yourself out of the songwriter role and into the listener role. But the Tell Me How You Sleep chorus that Steve sent me, I always liked it. Even in demo form, I thought it sounded really big in my car, for lack of a better word. But it was only a chorus.
I feel like I spent hours on the chorus, and then the verse, I just did whatever came natural, the like, do-do-do-do-do-do-do. That's not how it sounds, actually. But, you know, the dark bass-driven verse. But then didn't have any ideas for the melodies, which worked out great because Chris had what I feel is like a pretty incredible idea for a unique verse melody. So it's funny, sometimes you'll be working on songs, and to me, like, if you don't finish the idea in the sitting that you're working on it, you'll never finish it unless you're boys with Chris.
The melody for the verse kind of came to me instantaneously when Steve played me his idea for the chords and rhythm of the verse. I think the quick moving melody, the da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, matched up real nicely with the rhythm. And I don't know exactly where the story came from. It just kind of came to me. But I think I would have to give credit to all the Hunter S. Thompson books that I was reading around the time of the writing of this album. I think I just kind of thought, okay, so there's this woman that lives in Vegas, and she takes advantage of men by giving them hallucinogens, and then she robs them, and then she leaves them in the desert. And after struggling with even coming up with any idea at all, once the idea came, I think all the lyrics were written in 10 minutes, maybe 15 at the most.
I remember thinking like, oh, I wonder if we'll do Tell Me How You Sleep. Maybe it's not as good as the rest of these ones that are really starting to come to life. And then we started working on it, and I realized that I think it's the best song on the album. Bold statement. Is it? I don't know. Maybe. I get about 7 or 8 hours of sleep at night. FYI.